Hi, welcome back to my first video today on the Build Your Own R2D2 by Deagostini. So I've already built issues 1 to 5, so this is just an overview of what I've done so far. I have received my new issues today, so there will be videos going up more in detail of the builds on those. But before I start and show you what's in each issue, let's see what it does. Well, didn't that look really exciting? So, without further ado, let's take a look at issue 1. So, here is issue 1. Like all the other subscription magazines out there, you always get a lot of reading, history about everything, information. So yeah, that's really good. I'm not going to go into detail with these in the magazines because those of you who are subscribing or are collecting these magazines, there's something for you to read. So like unlike the other magazines I've seen, the build instructions and the parts are at the back, towards the back in these magazines. So in issue 1 you get the primary photoreceptor faceplate, the right shoulder plate, the fixing screws, you get a screwdriver, you get the processor state indicator faceplate, the processor state indicator lens, the LED cluster for the processor state indicator, the LED cluster mounting, and the actual LED cluster power lead. So as I say, I've already built this one up to issue 5. Going forward from issue 5, I will be doing a video on each issue and the build, so you can follow me on my journey while I'm building this fantastic model. So it's quite basic, this one. All you have to do on issue 1 is you get the LED cluster, the housing, and then you need to screw that into the housing and attach the wiring. And that is it actually for issue 1, and I've already done that here. So this wire disconnects from there. So you just pop your LED cluster in the housing. There's 3 screws holding it in. 1, 2 and 3. And then you just connect the cable. And that is all you have to do for this first issue. The other parts that were included was the lens and the faceplate and the leg, without these pieces inside there. It's just the plain leg. So yeah, that is it for issue 1. I might just mention, if you are subscribing or planning on subscribing, the first free gift you'll get, which is quite exciting, is this. And it's a little R2D2 USB dongle. Absolutely fantastic. I haven't used it yet, but it does work. I believe it's 8 gigabytes. So yeah, quite a nice little thing to have on your desk. So yeah, that if you are subscribing, that would be your first free gift. with the magazines. Okay, let's move on to issue 2. Again, with all the magazines, you get all your reading at the beginning, and then on this series, all the build instructions are at the back. So, with issue 2, you get the right leg outer plate, the stabiliser, lubrication fittings ×2. You get the hydraulic arm coupler, a cap, hydraulic arm piston, and the hydraulic arm shaft. Again, I have built this one already, so I shall go ahead and show you what I've done. The first job on the instructions is to fit a few of those parts to the shoulder plate that we got in issue 1, which I have already done so. So these 2 caps here and this part here, and they get screwed on with 4 screws at the back. And then that is that part done. And then the next part is to assemble the pieces on the front of the leg plate there. So this part gets screwed on with 2 screws underneath. You've got one there and one there. And then this bit at the top here, that's at an angle, that actually gets super glued. So you need some super glue to affix some parts. So I have bought a tube of Loctite, and that seems to have done the job nicely. So yeah, that is the second part of the job to do. And then the final part, let me move this, is to just clip that on the top, just like so. And that is it. That is it for issue 2. Now, you're probably wondering, there is lots of screw holes under there, but there is no mention of affixing any of this permanently yet. So that is all you do. You just rest it loosely on the top there. And that is it for issue 2. So let me move on to issue 3 and show you what's inside. Okay, and this is issue 3. So let's have a look. I'm going to go straight to the back to the build instructions. Okay, and with this we've got the right leg outer casing, which is here. The primary photoreceptor extension, which is this little piece here. And we've got the primary photoreceptor lens and the control circuit board, which I have here. So yeah, there's not a lot to this issue, so let's get started. What we need to do first is take the leg that we had from the previous issue and just attach the outer casing directly onto there. There's no screws at the moment, it's all just loosely fit. There's no screws. I'm not sure when they're going to come, but at the moment that is that. The next part is to attach the extension to the lens casing that we got in issue 1. Now there's like a little groove there and a lip on there, so that just firmly slots into place like that. And oh, there we go, that's that piece done. Now it's also saying to clip the lens into the frame here, like so. But I haven't done that because I didn't want this to get damaged, and there's no fixings for it yet. There's no screws or anything to keep that in place, so I wanted to keep it safe in the packaging. So yeah, I haven't put that on just yet. And the last job for this issue is to connect the LED cluster to the control circuit board. The cable only goes in one way. It won't fit in the top one there. So it'll fit snug in there like so. And click into place. And that is it for issue 3. So yeah, let's move on then to number 4. Okay, this is issue 4. Again, I'm going to go straight to the back. I don't want to ruin any of this reading for you. And with this issue, we get a battery box. No batteries included though, so you need to put them in yourself. The leg pivot cover, which is made of metal. And you get the right ankle plate, which is there. So, the first things we need to do is attach the leg pivot cover into the centre of the leg, like so. So inside you've got some notches, and then there's 2 notches on there. So self-explanatory, it just pops in, and then you can then twist it into place. And that is that for that job. The ankle plate, again, literally just a push fit onto the bottom there. Loosely fit, it's all loose. We still have not been issued any screws to assemble any of this, so I'm not sure when they come in, but that is it for that part. And then the next job is to play with some electrics. So we get the light cluster from issue 1, the test board from issue 3, and then we've got the battery box that we've just been supplied with issue 4. It's saying to connect this up to the test board. We can then power on the battery box, and we can use these buttons to test the lights. One button does blue and one does red. If you do both, you've got both. So that's good, I'm happy, that's all working fine. And that is it for issue 4. This is issue 5. I'm going to go straight to the back again. And we're now going to be starting the head assembly and the bearings. So you get the dome top plate, some fixing screws, a small bearing, the bearing retainer and part of the dome frame, and some more screws. So this could be where we start screwing the leg together, possibly. Okay, so this is what your frame's going to look like, the dome. In this issue though, all you need to do is put the bearing inside the hole in the middle and then put the retainer on and secure it with 2 screws, which I've done here. So you've got your bearing in there and then your retainer with the 2 screws either side. And then the next job is to fasten the dome frame, the first part of the dome frame, to the top plate there. I've already done that. So that's just to fix with 2 nuts in the holes there, which fit perfectly, and then just 2 screws. And that is actually it for issue 5. So that is as far as I've got with my build with the R2D2. So that is as far as I've got with my R2D2 build at present. I have got issue 6, 7, 8 and 9 that arrived today. So my next video will be assembling issue 6. So please, if you like the video, like, share, subscribe. That would be fantastic. And I'll see you next time for issue 6.